Hello everyone, it's me, Celesta. I'm here in my house, and I bet you're in your house. Are you in is that your family room? Or is it your kitchen or your bedroom? Tell me where you are. Oh, cool. Well, I'm in my house, and usually we would get together at Old Fox Books, but we can't right now because we're all spending time being cozy. So I thought I would come to you. And I feel so lucky because when I've been in my house, I can still make music. Have you been making music? Sometimes I make music with my harp, and I know that not all of you have a harp at your house, but did you know that you have an instrument in your own body? It's your voice. La la la. You can make your hands an instrument, even your feet. You could even be very creative, and we'll talk about that a little later. So I'm here today, and I have my harp, of course, which lives at my house, and I have some pets. And I have a little fairy helper. Now she's very shy, so she's not going to come on camera, but you might hear her from time to time. Her name is Violet. Can you say hello, Violet?
Hi kids, it's me, Violet.
Did you hear that? Oh, she has such a tiny little fairy voice, but she said, "Hi kids, it's me, Violet." And she also is taking care of my two pets who I brought with me, and those of you who've been to story time with me at Old Fox Books know I always bring my cat. And do you remember what her name is? Violet, could you hand me my cat, please? Oh, here she is. Oh, look, she has a new outfit. Do you see? Purple sparkly shoes and her fairy dress. Thank you, Violet, so very much. And her name is kind of a funny one. Do you remember what her name is? Yes, that's right. It's glissando. And a glissando is a very special thing on the harp, and I'm going to play it for you now. Ready? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a magical sound? And that's why I decided to name my cat Glissando, because she deserved a magical sound. And I have another pet with me today. Violet, could you hand me my other pet, please? Thank you. And look at this pet. Look at her. Oh my. And she has a special name too. And you see her silver sparkly wings and her rainbow mane and her horn. What is she? A unicorn, that's right. Here you go, Violet, thank you. But she has a special name. Oh yes, Violet. Her name is Arpeggio. And that's an arpeggio on the harp. So I'm gonna start. My first song will be something that many of you who've been to Storytime will recognize. It's Magic is in the Air. Remember that one? Sing along if you know it. Magic, magic everywhere. Magic is in your nose and your eyes and ears and toes. Magic, magic in your head, even when you go to bed. Magic, magic in the light, when you go to sleep at night. Magic is in the air, magic, magic everywhere. Magic is in your nose and your eyes and ears and toes. Oh, thank you for singing with me. Those of you who know it, and those of you who don't, you can pause the video and rewind it and memorize it if you want a new song to sing at home. So, I'm going to tell a story today, and it is a story that I've only told one other time, and it's a story about a horse named Addi, and I wrote this story for a little girl named Addi, who's one of my special friends, And I hope you enjoy it. And whenever I tell a story, I always play a little song about how stories are so magical. And it's sung to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle. Are you ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, bring some magic from afar. Bring a story to everyone. Sparkle, sparkle, lots of fun. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, brings a story from afar. Okay, so now for the story of Addi the Unicorn. There once was a unicorn, and she had beautiful cream-colored fur and a long brown mane that looked like chocolate. And she was prancing through the forest one day among the frosted leaves and flowers when she heard something. Do you want to hear what she heard? Toward the magical sound, and she heard it again. Can you believe that? So she got closer, and she saw a cave, and inside the cave there was jeweled fruit, apples made of rubies, grapes made of emeralds, and plums made of amethysts. And on the ground there was a path, and it was stripes of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, and it was sparkling. What do you think it was? Violet, do you know what that is?
Rainbow.
A rainbow, exactly right. So Addi, of course, was very, very curious. So she trotted up to the path, and she put one hoof on the path, and she was transformed. Her fur turned white and sparkly. Her mane turned to rainbow color, and she had a horn coming out of her head. What was she? A unicorn. So I can see that Violet's already prepared. I want you to pause it, and get yourself a little instrument, or maybe you can sing along or clap with your hands. We have some jingle bells, and I'm going to play my instrument to help you imagine what it sounded like when she transformed. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again, Violet. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty magical. Thank you, Violet, very much. Now, she looked to the back of the cave, and she saw something that she hadn't seen before. There was an opening, and the rainbow path led through the opening into a big clearing. And the sun was shining, and even though it had been winter where she was, it was summer. And she saw some magical little fairies painting with colorful paintbrushes. One was wearing red and painting with a red paintbrush, and one was wearing orange and painting with an orange paintbrush. And I bet you can guess. There was a yellow and a green and a blue and an indigo. But you know who was missing was the violet fairy. Oh, the violet fairy. Where was the violet fairy? Well, the fairies, although they looked very cheerful in their outfits and their paint, they were very sad. They saw Addi the Unicorn, and they said, "Please help us. Our friend, little Emma, the violet fairy, is stuck in a tree. With her purple paint, she can't paint with us, and we can't finish our rainbow without her. Will you help us? Oh, but they sounded so sad. Do you want to hear what it sounded like when they were feeling sad? Let's see. Oh, they sounded so sad. But, of course, Addi, being kind, strong, and brave, said, "Of course I'll help you find your little purple friend Emma, and I'll get her down from the tree." So she extended her horn out, and little Emma the fairy crawled onto her horn, and she lowered her horn to the ground. Emma was free. And free to paint her purple part of the rainbow once again. So Addi trotted on, and she noticed that as she went, the wind started to pick up, and it was a bit colder, and the leaves had turned red and yellow. It was a different season, even though she had only taken just a few steps. She went further along, and she saw some interesting looking creatures. They were green and they had big wings. What do you think they were? They were dragons. And she heard kind of an interesting sound as the leaves were swirling around. I'm going to play it for you. She was a little nervous. This sound made her feel uneasy. But as she got closer, she realizes that the dragons weren't scary at all. They were having fun. They were roasting marshmallows, and they had made the pit on fire with their dragon fire breath. They said, "Hello! Would you like to join us to roast some marshmallows?" So of course Addi said, "I would." So she joined them, and then they taught her a traditional dance of the dragons. It's called the fire dance. And I'm going to play it for you. Like that fire dance? Yeah, well, the dragons do too. It's their favorite thing to do when they sit around the fire and roast marshmallows. Well, Addi bid adieu to the dragons, and she went on her way. Now, she'd already been through summer and fall. What do you think was next? Winter. That's right. Winter comes after fall. And she heard a beautiful voice coming from far away, and it was singing a song. And she saw a lady in the distance, and she was wearing a beautiful, long, silvery blue gown. And she had a long wand with a snowflake at the end of it. And she was dipping her snowflake and touching the top of every flower as she sang. Listen to the song and see if you can figure out what she was doing and who she was. do you think she was? What was she doing? She was putting the flowers to sleep. She was the winter fairy. She was putting them to sleep so that they would curl up snug and cozy in their flower beds, ready for spring. Well, Addi couldn't believe that she had traveled through all the seasons in just a few minutes. She went and talked to the winter fairy, and the winter fairy said, "Oh, it's so lovely to see you. I loved putting all the flowers to sleep and giving them a good rest before they pop up again in spring." Addi had had such an adventure. She could hardly believe it. Now, what do you think happened next? She went from summer to fall to winter to what? Spring, that's right. And what season have we just begun here in Annapolis? Spring. So Addi trotted out onto a beautiful field of flowers, and she saw a group of fairies dancing and singing. Here's what it sounded like. Oh, and what a lovely dance they were performing. So, Addi trotted across the field, and there she met an older unicorn. The unicorn came right up to her and said, "Hello, my name's Izzy." And Izzy was a very kind and lovely unicorn. And she said, "Would you like me to teach you how to gallop as fast as the wind?" Addi said, "Of course." And so, Izzy taught her how to gallop, and as they galloped so fast across the field, they flew into the rainbow. Wow. So finally, Addi had had such an adventure. She'd gone through summer and fall and winter and spring. She'd met fairies and dragons and even another unicorn who showed her the way. She met the winter fairy, and she heard all kinds of beautiful music. I hope that you enjoyed the trip with Addi the Unicorn, and I hope that you learned a couple of things too. Maybe you remember the word glissando or arpeggio, or maybe you just enjoyed listening to the music. Either way, I am so glad that you joined me. Thank you so very much, and I will finish with one final song about Addi the Unicorn. There once was a unicorn, brave and smart, who loved her friends with all her heart. There once was a unicorn, fair and sweet, the kindest one you'll ever meet. Addi the unicorn with queenly grace, Addi the unicorn, fair of face, Addi the unicorn who gallops with glee, and is the best friend to you and me. Thank you so much, and come join me at Old Fox Books sometime. I'll let you know when the next time is coming up, But I really hope to join you on Maryland Avenue again soon, where we can enjoy wonderful books together, some music, and some fun playtime. Thanks so much. This is Celesta signing off. Bye-bye. Be magical.